Great growth day. Welcome to Doing Life with the Word. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us this morning. Today, we are tapping into the seventh day of our keys to healthier communication and marriage by David and Tamala Mann. So far, this plan has been phenomenal. For those that don't know, we use a YouVersion Bible app. It's a phenomenal app that you can download 100% free, and there's many different features and functions at your fingertips. There's verses of the day, daily devotional, Bible audio, and my favorite is the Facebook, Instagram stories like feature for both adults and children. A phenomenal way to tap in with your children and your family. So definitely make sure you tap in. What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
Doing well, man. Doing
Yeah,
well.
good, good, good. All right, we be back right after this. All right, bro. Day
What's up?
7.
Oh
Ask
yeah.
for help. Ask for help. This is going to be a good one, man. I think this is something that a lot of people are not willing to do.
Yeah. Well,
It's
it's
just to
not. It
ask,
doesn't.
ask for help.
It doesn't demand help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Well, yeah, we gonna say prayer and then we're gonna tap right into it. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just thank you for another day, Lord. Every day is different, but we thank you. We're gonna be grateful and excited to take on each day. Lord, we just thank you for your word and your instruction to give us guidance in this thing we call life. Uh,
Yes.
Lord, we thank you for the wisdom. We thank you for the unconditional love, Lord, that we don't have to stay in shame or uh,
Yes.
we don't have to stay regretful or bitter or anything, Lord. We can come to you and you can relieve those burdens, Lord. You said that you wouldn't put more on us than we can bear. And Lord, we honor in that, Lord, and just anything that we may be challenged with that we may feel like it's just too much for us, Lord. I'm praying that we're able to cast those cares on you. Lord, for those that are listening and under the sound of my voice and those that may watch the replay, I pray that they're blessed by this devotional and they're blessed by the conversation that we have this morning. Lord, we pray that those are the listening gain some wisdom and that they're able to apply it to their lives for the
Yes.
better, that they're able to share the gospel and their testimonies and how you've been a blessing in their lives. Lord, we just want to be good and faithful servants.
Thank
Lord, we
you.
just want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. We want to continue to share this gospel with others so that they can um, receive the kind of peace and joy that we've experienced through you, Lord. In Jesus' name, Holy Spirit, please take over this conversation. Amen.
Amen.
Let's get it, bro.
Yes, sir. Ask for help, David. When an issue becomes too difficult for you and your spouse to manage together, it may be time to call on an objective third party to help you figure things out. Every once in a while, all of us can benefit from a mediator that we trust to step in and provide wise counsel. This ensures that both parties are heard and a resolve can be achieved. There is nothing wrong with going to a counselor. Wow, they should have underlined that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with confiding in your pastor or spiritual leader. God has anointed individuals to help you work through your problems when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It is God's will that your marriage prospers, and you must know that God is faithful to send help in the time of need. Tamala and I have always encouraged our friends and family members to seek counseling. We have often reached out to others that we trust, our pastor and trusted friends, to help us with difficult issues in our marriage. The key for me was to constantly tell myself and to communicate to Tam, we can get through this. It's only a rough patch. I'm not going to give up on you. And my desire is to strengthen our marriage by any means necessary. Discussion questions. Is it time to seek counseling? If yes, make a list of a couple trusted or referred counselors and interview them so you both agree on a choice.
Mm,
Yeah, counseling.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
just the title alone, bro. Ask for help is something that, like, just reading the title, it just remind me of what I said some time ago. Like, we didn't know how to date, so when we dated, we just went off of our own understanding, and we had bumps in the roads and pitfalls, but we never asked for help when it came to our courtship. We just never asked for help. And then when we fell on hard times,
mhm.
we didn't even know that conflict resolution existed. So eventually we did something, whether it was call or text. So we just went dark on each other, and I don't know, showed up a week later, end up finagling with one another, and we just never addressed the issue. And
Mhm.
yet we back to boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we just, and then some of us has the courage of our conviction to even get married. And we didn't learn nothing. We were dating. We didn't learn nothing when we was a committed couple. And it's like, it's just, we just don't even know how to approach it. It's just like, well, if I like her, then I need to pursue her with my own understanding. And she like, well, I think he's cute. I wouldn't mind getting to know him. It's almost like if you don't seek help or get some insight on a purpose of that, then you're nothing but an opportunist, because it's not, you can't, you're not going to receive the true riches of the relationship. You're just going to get some perks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 That's interesting that you say that because that's absolutely the truth. If you're not
Yeah.
listening and you don't understand your spouse's desires and that, everything that they're trying to say to you, like you said, yeah, you're just trying to, you're an opportunist
Yeah,
because you just
because you're just
going
going to
out there.
shun it. You're going to shun
Yeah.
it. I've met so many relationships where I ain't doing that. She know not to bring it, and vice versa. The dude be like, man, she ain't going for that. And it's like the purpose of
Yeah.
building and becoming.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
it's it's, it's tough, and that goes with everything. Whether it's kids, whether it's money, or whether it's just so much where people, they're not going to tell you, but you just see it, and you're like, well, man, I guess this is going to trickle over in marriage, or it's just, I mean, Satan is always going to win due to our ignorance,
Yeah.
but it's just like he probably like, wow, there's probably like 3, 4, 5 steps, and some of us might got 3 steps that we're doing, but the other 3 that can build us closer, he probably like, man, if they do this, man, we may be able, like Satan would be like, man, I'll be trembling. It's like the longer they don't do that, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's anything. And we could talk about anything far as the relationship, far as view on parenting, view on money, whether it's, I don't know, bills, joint account, in-laws, something like it's just, you can find like a divide, like,
I
and
mean, and do you think that most couples know about these divides? Most
no.
couples know about these things? No.
Nah, a lot of us don't. There are a lot of pockets in my marriage I don't even know. but until me and my wife decide to seek and have these conversations, you no, there are a lot of, I'm sure there are a lot of blotches where you look at a marriage and that's probably running like a well-oiled machine, and you look at some that has the potential. But I think the ones that's running like a well-oiled machine, I think they are seekers. I you know
Yeah. Yeah.
I think. But if you work, you got your normal routine, bills, watch a little TV and stuff like that, occasionally make love, and you go through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all, like, just the there's a lot of open area where you're like, man, why didn't I think of that? Man, why wasn't, because you never knew back when you started, and you never
Hmm.
saw when you got in covenant. And then life and the routine, you got to be intentional about that. Like, there are people who go to the gym, they work out and stuff like that, and their diet is trash. And there are people who their diet is excellent and they get the proper sleep. They drink a gallon a day. They do exercise, and you see the fruit of their labor. So you understand Brandon. You understand about step 1 to step 8. Some people be like step 1, step 4, then they back to step 2, then they jump to step 8, and it's like, yo, just so it's just we just gotta seek it. I personally think that this is a great exercise, like doing life with the word. I just can't imagine if it don't even have to be on marriage or anything. But
Right.
let's just say if me and my wife had a steady diet of just going through devotions like we do, just
Right.
just me and her sitting at the table. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh yeah.
We ain't got two of our teammates, but the scriptures say where 2 or 3 are gathered, he's in the midst.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where just ignorance is there, but the information is out there. I just don't think we have been trained and conditioned to pursue and seek,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and asking for help is like blasphemy, because people are so prideful and egotistical and not even know the purpose of a relationship that you
Self
know
made.
yeah, if you ask for help as boyfriend or girlfriend, he probably be like, he prideful, whatever. And she probably like, I don't want people in my business and stuff like that. Satan like, yes.
Hmm.
He like, yes. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of people don't want to believe left less that growth isn't always pretty, and it doesn't always feel good.
Yeah.
And most people perceive relationships as an outlet instead of exposing the immaturity that you have. And we ain't gonna never get to that mountaintop because we just too full of ourselves, you know?
Yeah. I think you just answered my next question because I was going to ask you. Well, I'll share the answer. You said exposing your immaturity because I was going to ask you, what do you say to someone who's like, man, I ain't sharing my business, or you know what I mean? I don't need to tell nobody what's going on with me. What's your response to people like that? Um, and people that are going through that, because I think that it's definitely a great challenge for people because they really feel opposite.
Yeah.
They really feel the opposite, but they've learned to put that barrier up. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's what I think, how can I say it? One of the things that uh helps us all, me, you, everybody, is exposure, you
Mm,
know? And when people have that kind of mindset, which is okay because
mm,
we're all human and we all think we know what we doing.
mhm,
We think
mhm.
because we like something or our endorphins are released that that's the move. That could be a deception. You think you like her, but you never dealt with lust. So you
Yeah,
think you like her, but no,
right.
you got a situation in your members going on that you don't even know. Oh, I like
Mm,
her. You don't like her because you don't know her. But
right.
the word is exposure. So if you're exposed to a couple that you perceive as flowing like a well-oiled machine,
Hmm.
um, then I think you have to get around that couple or seek that. But the problem is, and I see it in the It, a lot in our community is how can you saw that whether people be on a system, whether it's Section 8 or whether it's food stamps or welfare, whatever. Some people get comfortable in that, and some people relationships just run off a minimum wage.
Mm,
Yeah, y'all may be active. Yeah, y'all may go out and stuff like that. So people are comfortable and content on the system. Some people ain't gotta work. They wake up, they eat cereal, they watch TV all day, they get a check every month, they pay Section 8. You can get comfortable in that. And in your marriage, you can get comfortable
wow.
of not seeking millionaire, billionaire status in your relationship because it's like, no, we cool. They don't need to know, blah, blah, blah. And and that's what happens. So it's like why ask for help when I'm content with from a woman's mind is like, well, I do have sex with them, well, I do cook, or I do take care of the kid, or I do. And it's just like, but it's like 17 items. You got a hard five. And then those other 12 that you're not, being attentive to, Satan is coming at your husband. And vice versa. The husband may got a hard five, but it's 17 items. That hard 12, now Satan's coming after you, and you'll find yourself wandering, and it's just ignorant. I can't think of no other word. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm only speaking to my own self. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say me and my wife seek all the time regarding certain things. She do
Hmm.
compliment me regarding me helping her emotionally at times, and Farron has been nothing but a spot of heaven to my life. But I'm
Hmm.
not going to say we have made it to the mountaintop like we're knocking off every checklist. I don't know the checklist. You see what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know where it's like this is what I should be doing to my wife right now. I don't know if I'm missing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we do life though. We figure it out as the time goes, and as we again, that's the big thing about communication is you got to talk about what those 12 things that are missing.
Yeah.
You got to talk about them, and then like you said, the exposure is key because you want to make sure you're in an environment that um you're constantly around those well-oiled machines to be able to see what it is that you're missing at times, and not always comparing, but I mean obviously if you're in marriage you want it to run smoothly.
Yeah.
you
But I
know
think people, honestly, bruh, asking for help, this title, I think people, uh, they have their own definition of what it is, and it's like I'm cool. Like some people can get exposed and be around some virtues and be around some people flowing, and they not that they insecure internally, they like I'm cool, I ain't, you know what I mean, I ain't doing all that, he don't need all that. You can buy into your own,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
your way of thinking, and you just keep executing. And
That's so unfortunate, man.
well, most people don't know. Like, cause see, I've been on that other side. I know what it's like to be married, right?
Mhm.
And go through a divorce and stuff like that. And you know, it's just one of the, ask for help, and the help wasn't sufficient to turn our hearts. I won't just put it all on her. She can't just put it all on me. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we split. Now I was under a lot of emotional pain, a lot of psychological pain and stuff like that, where you know it's like one of those things, like when I think of an eagle, when an eagle come down and scoops that, I don't know what he eat, a rabbit or a rat, whatever dinner is, he picks
Hmm.
it up, and when he's flying away, as he's flying away, his fangs, I mean not his fangs, his claws is in that. He ain't taking it on a joyride. He's killing you as he's flying. Like, so
Hmm.
don't think that he's taking you on a joyride. His claws is like,
Hmm.
he's trying to get all the blood in. Then when they get to his destination, he's gonna eat you. And
Right.
and and I've been in that situation where I was close to someone and I was trying to hold on, but their claws, like if I ain't back away, I would have died. Or I would have went upside her head. Or I would have, you see what I mean? It was like sometimes you gotta detach before, because you can hold close, but it's like it's killing you. And
Yeah.
them claws, and they get deeper and deeper. And eventually you gotta say, you know what, I can't, you know, I got to get up out of here before I lose myself. And
Yeah.
ain't and it's just one of those things where a lot of people in these relationships and these marriages, them claws are in them.
Right.
And it's like, yo, you could keep banking on this Hail Mary, but a lot of times, oftentimes, you gotta look in the mirror and say, like, you showing me who you are. Like, you ain't really about this. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And shame for me to not know anything about dating, not know how to do all the right questions and stuff like that. And then when I get on the other side, you know, when people do get on the other side and they meet another person, they still try to implement the same method. It's like, nah, my whole approach, you just got to switch up. And I just think asking for help is never part of the multiple choice, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Asking for help is never one of the multiple choice options.
Wow. It's it's interesting to me, um, that when you know that someone has an answer for you, and you don't ask because of pride.
Yeah.
It's really that's really interesting to me, and not interesting meaning I want to know more about it. It's just really interesting because for some people to have the desire to do well in their marriage or to do well in communication, but you know you're lacking, and there's someone that you know that can help you. You don't ask. It's 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 disheartening, man. At
Yeah.
times, it really is because you can see, especially if you've been around them, you can see um the different challenges. You could see it. It's on display at times if it's that bad, and you just want the best for your brothers, for your sisters, for your
Yeah.
families. Um, but sometimes it's tough to just to say anything.
Well,
you know,
I mean,
tough to
I,
say
I,
anything.
I I only can go by what I've been exposed to and what I've heard a lot said. The one statement, it's funny how everybody know to say that one statement. I ain't signed up for that. And it's
Yeah,
like,
wow.
yeah, yes, you did. And it's like, no, I didn't. And it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to debate with you, but
Yeah.
you really did sign up for that. And what they won't say is that I signed up for my fantasy. They won't say that.
Mm,
They won't say that.
yeah, but yeah, wow. I mean, I
Yeah, they
think
won't. They won't say that.
that's
And
how
like
we.
right here, it says, in the middle of the paragraph, it says, there is nothing wrong with going to a counselor. There is nothing wrong with confiding in your pastor or spiritual leader.
Hmm.
Just those two things let you know that what you should have been doing when you were courting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because let's just say you always had that accountability. Because when we get in relationships, we don't seek our pastor. We don't seek some spiritual guidance. We tell people we're dating.
Right.
We show and stuff like that. We don't be like, it is like unfathomable to just be like, yeah, I met a girl and wanna I'm just trying to seek to see how do I approach her and what she should be doing. She might not even be comfortable with that. So even when you meet her or he meet, like he meet her or her meet him, their
Mm.
thing isn't they're not looking for no spiritual umbrella of accountability. They not
Right. 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 Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And it says God has anointed individuals to help you work through your problems when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Problems are going to come.
Yeah.
They are going to come. It is God's will that your marriage prosper, and you must know that God is faithful to send help in the time of need. So problems are coming. They are
Yeah.
coming, and you just I think ultimately when people be in their feelings or get very emotional, have attitudes, that's just pride. Because who told you it wasn't coming? Who told you the storm wasn't coming? It's
Right.
like, oh, I got to deal with this. And it's like, man, I still got these hopes for this and that, this and that. And it's like, man, I don't look, man, I made some decisions that I'm regretting, you know what I mean? Even how I even approach my marriage and what we're dealing with now. And it's just one of those things where I wish I would have sought the counsel. But in the same sense, I'm here, I'm forgiven and I'm pressing, and he's going to turn it around. And I got a story, and I will not hesitate to share to help others about
Right.
what I should have
Right.
done. You know what I
That's it.
mean?
That's it.
Because I personally believe right now at age 40, with the experience I have, I personally believe I can teach a premarital course. Like,
Hmm.
I write my own lesson, because I've talked to so many people who are dealing with things. There are women who married a man that was battling with pornography, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And they never addressed it and they got married. There are so many men that married a woman that has endured child molestation. You
Hmm.
see what I mean? Like being touched inappropriately as a little girl, exposed to so many things. She never
Right.
said nothing. Then they get married. There's so many, like domestic violence and so much that is just not being said as you're dating, as you're courting.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
a blended family, whether he falls in love with a girl, she got two kids, whether she falls in love with him, he already got two kids. And they're trying to coincide with each other without doing life with each other's kids and embracing their previous significant others. And it's just like people being their own little fantasy, or I want it this way, or I'm out. And it's like, it's just so many moving variables that people just don't even know that growth isn't always pretty. And I just
Yeah.
think that um Satan, he's in that space, and he's been having some success. He's been having some success.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's capitalizing off of our ignorance, like you said.
Oh yeah, because we have a ability to
Mm.
like what we see and ignore what we know. We
Yeah.
know, we see it, but we just, I'm gonna put a wall up
Hmm.
and I'm gonna execute my will. And it ain't even about being successful, Les. It's all about what it's looking like, man. And the only advice I would tell
Wow.
anybody is like, you know
Wow.
what I mean? I would say, what are you not willing to do?
Mm.
And you ain't ready to go. You know, like, what are you not willing to do? You know what I mean? And when you and then premarital, my counselor called it no way Jose's,
Hmm.
and only you know those no way Jose's. Only you know. If I was watching this podcast with NFL athletes, and they had their wives on there, and I remember the wife was just saying like, I never felt like his money was our money. My name wasn't on the accounts. Yeah, I had spending money. Yeah, we lived in the house and stuff like that, but I had no voice of decision making. And
Hmm.
from his view, he just was like, you don't need to be concerned about that. We got house, we got shelter, you know what I mean? But she just was like, I didn't never feel involved.
Mm.
And he had no conviction, like it ain't that deep.
Mm.
But what if she what if um that's a void that's missing in her,
Hmm.
and there's another variable floating out that gets her attention. Not that it's going to make her name be on her husband's account, but people think that certain things will relieve them or give them some type of reprieve, like it's
Yeah.
going to help the situation, but it just plummet them all the way more down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you got to say to yourself, what are you not willing to do? And
Mm.
I think that just goes because, like, this thing is called ask for help, right? And me and you both know you could be married 100 years, you can be in relationship cohabitate and still get by. So it ain't like if you don't do this, you're gonna be a disgrace. It's like, no, you can still work, you can still pay your taxes, you can still take trips, enjoy
Hmm.
Christmas, and go see the fireworks on 4th of July, and like you can still do life. So it
Right.
doesn't really, you just won't flow efficiently, but you'll flow.
Yeah, you'll get there.
You'll get there. You know what I mean? And if you do have bad days, you get you your glass of wine, puff on your cigar, go binge watch, like whatever you do, talk on the phone. Like you're always, so you're gonna get by.
Yeah. I love that your pastor asked you that question. What are your no way Jose's? What are you not willing to do?
Yeah.
Because right at that moment, it just shows you that you're not ready. And I think that we always typically go the opposite way and say, what are you willing to do? Right. But then you got to go through the whole process of elimination. But this gets right to the root.
Yeah.
What are you not willing to do?
And if
And
there's some things, bruh, like if there's some things that you're not gaining in your marriage, what most people have to understand is that
mm,
maybe I haven't earned my wife trust. Maybe I haven't earned my husband trust. I did one, two, three, four. Like, I'm on probation. I put myself back on probation. You know what I mean? Maybe, but
mhm.
you have to have these internal conversations with yourself because he ain't say it, she ain't say it, but sometimes you got to do your own work. Remember how Billy was saying, you got to work on yourself, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
And if
Yep.
anything, the only thing I will hope in my marriage is that my wife can say, well, I see him trying.
Hmm.
She know I ain't perfect. She know I ain't flawless, but at least she can be like, well, I see him trying. And if she see me trying, hopefully that can ignite something in her to be sensitive and try this and that. Maybe I can try and forgive because I see him trying. Maybe you see what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's just one of those things where you just have to have a lot of internal conversations with yourself. And the beauty about being a Christian is conviction.
Hmm.
Conviction
Yeah.
is a gift.
Yeah.
Conviction is a gift because my persistence in God can convict you in your relationship with God because you can have a hardened heart and have a wall up, and God will eventually be knocking that thing down. He could be knocking that thing down, and just you know, how can I say this? Like, because I think He used those things to get your attention.
Yeah.
I think He used
Absolutely.
those to get your attention, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's in life we have the ability to be that eagle and squeeze. I can't think of no other animal that squeezes their prayer to death, like with their paws. But you know, you can be in relationships like, babe, you're killing me. Like you're like your claws are in me. We keep doing this, like you're killing. Well, and it's like, I think the
No.
best thing is like what Billy told us, like, man, you got to work on yourself because I can't change my wife. I can't change her. She
Yeah.
can't just change me. So only thing you can do is get your vertical right and live from there. And I know what it's like to be in a position where whether I did wrong, like in my
Mhm.
previous relationship, I won't say it was 99% her, 1% me. My mindset with that was it was 51% me and 49% her. And I say that to keep me humble, to get my heart right with him. So when I
Mhm.
met another young lady who I'm in love with and I'm doing life with, it's like I got a second chance at love because I screwed that up. You see what I
Mhm.
mean? I took the responsibility. I
Mhm.
did what Adam
Mhm.
didn't do in the garden. Adam said, you gave her me. You see what I mean? Because I'm sure there were more than a few relationships that have been through what I've been through, plus more, and they have an efficient relationship now. But in the same sense, it was just like, no, I I had to get out of that situation, and I have no regret of getting out of that situation.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, I kept my heart right with him. You see what I mean? And if I really was an opportunist in anything, I would be a disservice to Farron. Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
way I can
Yeah.
pursue and love her the way I do, if I didn't deal with my vertical. You see what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I just took the responsibility of saying, you know what? We both played a part. at why this family broke up. You see what I mean? And it
Yeah.
got to a point where like them claws was killing me. They were killing me. I liken it to heaven and hell. Like it's just one of those things where, you know, you either in or you're out. Like it's no situation. And there are a lot of people who go through some things and divorce, and they have regret and bitter unforgiveness and stuff like that. Man, get right with God. Like you should have been with him from the rip.
Yeah.
Because what honestly, let's if we keep it 100, a lot of people don't know how jacked up they are till they get in a relationship. You see what I
Yeah.
mean? You really don't know. You get that opposition, you don't know. So you think you're a Christian.
Yeah.
You think you built for this war. You think you built for this marital union. You get over there and you stinking up the joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm big on that. Like, like, look, I got a second opportunity. You know what I mean? So I can't remember too much. I mean, I wasn't um like what I do is like I know what it's like to be out of work, right? And it's like,
Mm.
well, if I get a job, I'm gonna be boom. You see what I mean? I know it's like to be out of a job. So you gotta look at it like I was out of work. So if I get this one opportunity, I'm gonna go all in because I know what it's like to be dark. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was in a relationship, but if I get an opportunity to get married again, boom. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And but some people do get that. They be out of work, they get a job, and they stink up the joint
You
because they
can.
they trying to apply the same practices. I was married before. I'm married again. So I'm trying to do whatever, and I'd rather die with my wife saying, he was trying than me dying and just be like, man, he thought it was the right thing to do.
Sad. Sad.
So
Sad,
we ain't
man.
asking for help, bro.
Nah.
We
No,
ain't
you're
asking
right.
for help.
No, we're
I've
not.
had a few people that helped me and Farron, whether it was
Mm.
Michael Dixon, Kevin Brown, Shannon Etheridge, this lady named Nancy. You know, we watch videos, The Art of Marriage, Stephen Furtick. Um, we
Mm-hmm.
get on a call with our church once a month. They have a group. We went to a marriage session not too long ago. Um, I don't know how many books we read. I don't know how many YouTube clips we watched. I've done ladies that help our union. Doing life with the word has helped. Um, Safety in a multitude of counsel. I've led the charge at times for us to get help. One of the reasons how we even got over into holy matrimony was through a counselor, you know, that wasn't even near familiar with us, but she was able to touch an area in her that I couldn't. I was limited. And I was just complimenting her on that last night because it's like she made a decision to hear. Because some people could be a wall up. I ain't listening. I ain't doing. It's like, all right. And I think it comes to a point where you just got to ask yourself, am I worth fighting for? You got to ask your spouse that, you know,
Wow.
and that's asking for help, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother devotional. Am I
Oh,
worth
yeah.
fighting for? Am I worth fighting for?
Yeah. And I, from a natural perspective, I could see why people don't want people in their business.
Yeah,
I get it,
yeah, I get it.
but you gotta
It's
you gotta
fear,
learn to
man. It's
yeah,
fear.
you gotta learn to love again. I'm
Yeah,
talking from a picture.
yeah,
I have a proof of concept. I was in a relationship before. I'm in a relationship now. Like I was married before. I'm married now. So I'm talking like I'm not pulling this out of anywhere. Like I lived through this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. That's why I'm listening.
Yeah, so I
That's
lived through this. So asking for help is a routine of mine. And whether my wife is whether she could be a insecure introvert, whatever, it's like, yo, this is the move. I'm gonna
Mm.
call someone. Like
Yeah,
I ain't that I ain't that sweet.
yeah,
Like I know that I believe the Bible. I know, like David just said it. He said, "Look, God has anointed people to help your situation." You know,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm just not that smart, and I'm not that spiritually sound to just be on. You know, if I was that sweet, we wouldn't need all these information. We wouldn't need all this intel. You know,
None of us are, man.
no,
None of us are. But that's good that you you always here because
you have to be, man.
you
You
get
know.
back.
I like it. It says at the top of the next paragraph, it says, Tamala and I have always encouraged our friends and family members to seek counseling. You know
Mhm.
what when we meet a girl or when a girl meets a guy, don't nobody say that. Yo, did you seek counsel? They be like, seek what you mean? We ain't you, people just perceive counseling as like, I don't know what they perceive. I don't know what they perceive.
we we're not taught that, man.
No, we're not.
We're not taught that.
And
We're
it
not
happens
taught.
with all, brother. Whether you
Yeah.
white, black, Hispanic, Asian, like it's man, it ain't even in the church, bruh. I'm keeping it 100.
Hmm.
It ain't even in the church. When people perceive family, they don't perceive it as church, and they don't perceive church as family. How awkward is that? Church
Hmm.
should be family, family should be church. They don't even. You can go to church for 12 months, never hear on anything how to effectively communicate with your spouse.
Mm.
So you gotta seek it. It's almost like you gotta go to college and you're going to college, but yet even when you're done studying and all that, you gotta seek this other information. It's like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
already in college. So what? You still gotta,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's just
You never arrive.
nah, I don't,
Never arrive.
and I just think ultimately like the main two questions out of asking for help is like, yo, am I worth fighting for? And secondly, what are you not willing to do? What is your no way Jose's?
Hmm.
You know, you know, but I
Wow.
don't think that's a sign to quit. I think that's the sign of saying, well, I have
Just
to get before God and be that example.
figure it out. Yeah.
And maybe you'll buy in, because people don't like relationships is perceived as an outlet, brother. It isn't designed to be like, I'm going to work on my immaturity. Mm-mm,
Jesus.
mm-mm,
Wow.
mm-mm,
Relationships are perceived as an outlet.
mm-hmm.
Man, I think about so many. When you said that, I just got a flash of like a bunch of conversations that I've had with people and how they like, man, if I can just get in this relationship or I'm trying to work on that, I'm trying to.
Man, we interviewed the
They're
girl. Remember
dealing
that?
with all of this stuff, like I'm coaching, for these folks, and they're dealing with all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, but I'm trying to get in this relationship, and if
I
God
was
can
a
just,
part of it. We interviewed a girl.
yeah, if God can just bless you with a husband, then we can figure this all out, and this and that. I'm just like, man,
Man, that husband is packaged with so much demonic activity
yeah,
that
but I
he
mean,
won't even present to you.
right, but even you have a lot to unpack and deal with before you even get in that situation. And man, I think about I think about what you said, seeking counsel as as a primary um as a primary tool before you before you even get in a relationship because you want to know what's going on with that person. And I think we run away from that because we don't want people to know what's going on really, and we just try to sweep it under the rug and thinking that it'll go away because we're in a relationship now. So it
It's
just
almost
just
how do
increases.
we trick ourselves to be ashamed before we're ashamed? Like you don't want to seek, you don't want to get no understanding because of what? Now you get over and do it your way, and you're still ashamed.
Yeah, it was silly. Silly.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm thinking about the I'm thinking about um this part. I think it's the third yeah, it's like the third to last sentence. It says God has anointed individuals to help you work through your problems when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. When you talk about when we talking about the people that are um are not dealing with their own challenges and they just jump into a relationship, they miss the opportunity to actually be anointed to help someone else. And I just I think that's for any challenge that you are constantly avoiding. You are I mean, first of all, it's selfish because when you're able to resolve the issue or deal with that challenge, it becomes a testimony. Like you said earlier, you lived through this. You have proof, so you can now stand flat-footed and share this in a way where it can truly be a blessing to individuals, newlyweds, those who, just got engaged or thinking about getting engaged. Like, you can help so many people because you went through the process and you didn't give up. Like, imagine if you would have gave up and you didn't humble yourself and say, look, I'm taking 51%. And you was
Yeah.
like, nah,
Then
90,
I'll
you
be
99.
still.
You 99
Yeah.
because
Right.
now that now that you put
Well, let's
all
park right
of the
there.
blame on
But
somebody else.
let's park right there because if I don't take 51%, I'll be arrogant towards Farron.
That's what I'm
I would
saying.
be like, I
That's
deserve this. I deserve,
absolutely,
because
absolutely, absolutely. And that's where I was going. Like, because you gave her the 99% and said it was all your fault, your chest is all pumped up, like I ain't do no wrong.
yeah, it was like, Lord, what can I like about, and one of the best compliments I've
That's good,
had, and
bro. That's
I don't
good,
know,
bro.
Farron can say it better than me, is that we went to see my pastor one day. And I can't remember the intricate details, but her memory is a lot sharper than he was like, I knew Alex was serious when he said, I want to come meet. I don't know what happened, but he said, I knew because, he see couples a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
But he
yeah,
just
yeah,
was like, I knew Alex was serious when he said, I don't even know what I said, honestly. But, and next time you connect with Farron, she'll remember you bring this up to her. And it was just like, yo, because this is not about me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to add value to this young lady, and I believe she's going to be a part of my life. So whatever we got going on, I'm here so we can get through this.
Right,
You know what I mean? And
right.
I don't know over the years what value or security I've added to her, but in the same sense, it's like how the way I approached my previous situation, if I would have had any type of arrogance or whatever, blah 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 blah, I wouldn't have been healthy for Farron. Mm-mm,
Yeah,
no. I
yeah,
wouldn't have been because I'd have been still like, man, I'm worthy. This is
yeah,
my time.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Anybody that comes to me like y'all, yeah, yeah. Wow, wow,
yeah, but
man.
I'm glad you mentioned that because people do live on this notion that you can't fall in love again, or if you've been divorced, you spoiled goods and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean his I'm under the redemptive cloth, bruh. Like I ain't I can't speak for other religions or whatever, and mine ain't even a religion. It's a relationship. It's through that relationship
yeah.
that I'm able to add value to other people about what I've been through. And I'm married now, and I've learned a lot through a lot of mistakes. So I'm
Hmm.
currently, you know what I mean. I'm currently still in training. There are some things that I wish I would have done differently, and I say
Yeah,
things meaning plural, not singular. You see what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm still in the trenches. You know what I
Still learn.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still, so I ain't at a position of power. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
and then I'm learning her. I remember she was and it's so beautiful how you learn. And like what I say early, growth isn't always pretty. It doesn't always feel good. But I remember
Mhm.
I would have a habit of taking my ring off. You know what I mean? And sitting it down. Because working in construction for so many years, and she perceived that, well, you don't want to be married because you don't have your ring on. And I could have easily turned that into something. I heard her. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'll make the adjustment. I'm sorry. Well, why you always take it off? I ain't get all offended. Why you talking to me like that? I just was like, I'll make the adjustment.
Right.
I didn't know
Yeah.
you perceived by me taking this off. I didn't want to be married. Like,
Yeah.
this doesn't hold me and you. Christ does. You
Right.
see what I mean? This doesn't, But
Right.
she let me into her world and I heard her. And
Right.
guess what? You see what I
Yeah.
mean? If I
Yeah,
take
man.
it off, it may be for the lotion or hop in the shower or whatever like that. But for the most part, I heard her. And I know so many ignorant men. She tripping
Right.
over that, man. I don't care if my ring on or all. And it's like, bro, you
Yeah.
missing it. I'm
You
trying to
miss
get to another level. And this is the
it.
small step to get me to stage 2. You see
Right.
what I mean? I ain't trying to
Right.
stay on stage 1 for the next 10 years. If she
Yeah.
can't present this to me, what she can't bring anything else to me. This
Right.
was, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
bro.
it's just one of those things like, come on, man, you missing it. This is supposed to
You.
expose your immaturity. Stop looking at your lady as you know what I mean? Like an outlet. She's not an outlet.
Wow.
She can't, you know what I mean?
Mm, mm, mm.
And to my single
So you,
ladies, he is not an outlet. He's not,
yeah,
you know?
Jesus.
So it's just unfortunate. Ask for
Mm,
help
mm.
is a real thing. And when you at the point where you don't need no help, we all gonna see the blotches. And if you're okay with us seeing the blotches and stuff like that, cool. Because now, granted, I wish it was built on personal development. I wish that you had to do X, Y, and Z to get you know, another tier in life. But it's just like you can be improper, you can be immoral, and you can not be sensitive to his or her needs and still make it economically. And that's the problem. You could get the house, the car, and all that, and still treat your spouse like trash. But
Mm.
people are like, well, it look good. You see them on
Yep.
their Christmas pics, you see them on their Easter pics, and it's just like you can still excel economically. And then some spouses buy into that, where it's like, well, shoot, I ain't leaving. Look, why would I? Where I'm gonna go.
Right. Right.
So, we ain't got to go into details of the stuff we been exposed to of certain temperaments, people not sleeping in the same bedroom, and just all types of stuff where, yeah, they are married, but they're not married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
just think it takes a level of humility to ask for help. Less, I just,
Yes, it does.
it just is, you know what they say. I ain't sign up for that. It don't take all that, and yeah, I don't know if you can. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still discovering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
prayerfully, our next devotion we get on, we just learn more about how to dwell and build families. You know what I mean?
That's for sure, man. That is for sure. Man,
You
that's
know,
that's go ahead.
I hear a lot of people say marriages work. I hate that statement.
Mm,
The reason why I hate that statement, because I personally believe that marriage is a flow. You
mm,
get a man and you get a woman. He initiates, she incubates. That's the methodology. He incubates, she initiates. And it's, I ain't got time to break down the Garden of Eden, how they messed it up. But when I say he incubates and no, he initiates, she incubates.
mm,
What comes to my mind is the logo. You ever see the recycle logo? Like
mm-hmm.
recycle. Matter of fact, you see this logo?
Mm-hmm.
Like arrows. They look like arrows.
Mm-hmm.
The recycle logo, they look like arrows. What you have to do is he initiates, she incubates, and God is the Trinity, like far as me, Farron, and God up top, we all look, she she look up, I look up, you know what I mean? We look up. That recycle logo, you get the man, you get the woman. This thing ain't work. Just imagine that recycle logo spinning because it got the arrows, just like it's just doing a constant spin. And when it's constant spinning by him hearing from God, him following God, him pursuing God, him presenting it to his wife, and she incubating, and they coming together, and that recycle logo is bringing them like this. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I mean? It's always spinning. It's always spinning, and we're always getting closer. This ain't work. This is the method. This is God. That thing is
Mm-hmm.
spinning. That recycle logo is spinning. And once we
Mm-hmm.
get like this, me and Farron end up in heaven. We game over. We
Yeah.
just set a legacy. We
Right.
said, look, we don't need to be here. We don't need to be here. You know what I mean? So it
Mm.
ain't work. You ain't willing to seek. You see what I mean? Because once you get that, and I'm talking to a person. I'm talking about a person like myself where I don't know if Farron ever asked me, Alex, what is your no way Jose's? I don't know if I ever asked her, like, babe, what are you not willing to do? Because we need to be like, this ain't work. We got to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So when people say it's work, it's like, I don't think God, because he created Adam first before he was with Adam before he even created Eve. So get your vertical right. And
Yeah.
God was like, yo, you limited. Now I need to bring you some help. You see what I mean? So when they say it's work, it's like, man, work is going to the gym, bro. Like that. But it's like
Wow.
he I don't think he. So I think it sounds cliche-ish, and it's like they say it's
Yeah.
work because they know everybody had their bumps and bruises, but this is par for the course. You know what I
Yeah, but
mean?
as we talked about before, the challenges come from you not doing the work on you. That's when it
That's the
that's when it
underlying.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's when it becomes
labor.
work as a marriage, labor. Yeah, labor. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you're right, because if you was working on your vertical, then certain things come to you. You can
Absolutely. As a flow.
it's like,
As a
oh,
flow.
okay, all right.
Yeah. It was just like I was talking to Apostle Ray the other day. He was talking about um, a lot of entrepreneur like kingdom entrepreneurs, the issue that they have with their ministry is struggling, and they have other businesses that they run.
Right.
Challenges that they have is that their business isn't dedicated to Christ. It isn't dedicated to make their ministry self-sufficient. So
Okay.
their ministry lacks. In their business, they're always, and he mentioned the difference between grace and grind. They always have financial anxiety because they're always grinding and working. But the grace comes when you're working your business to make sure that your ministry is self-sufficient, and God provides for that. And it blew my mind how he said it, and of course I'm paraphrasing, but it was just an amazing you know amazing
Babe,
perspective. Tell
nah,
Farron
nah, I ain't on mute. It's no secret. Yeah. You can kiss me on doing life with the word, you know?
What's up, sis? What's up, sis? I love it. We're gonna have to we're gonna
Huh?
take that clip. We're gonna take that clip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's my girl. What Billy say?
Your girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, I saw
Your
Billy
girl.
yesterday.
Oh, did you tell that brother? I
Yeah.
said, "What's up,
Man,
man?"
that brother was smelling good. I said, "What you got on?" He's like, "My wife bought this. I don't buy none of this stuff. She like how the way I smell." I'm like, "Oh, here you go. You always got to big up, Anything I wear, she like how I smell. That brother was smelling like heaven. I don't know what he had on. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she bought this. I'm like, all right, Billy.
He
You
got the
know,
flow, bro. He
yeah,
know.
he
He,
flowing.
he, he
He
flowing. He
flowing.
flowing.
But we've all heard that marriage is working. It's like God didn't. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something, man. We was watching last week. We was watching the Passion of the Christ. Our church did a movie night for
Mm-hmm.
Easter, and that crucifixion and him carrying that cross, that probably wasn't even work, bro.
Mm.
Because the flow keep you pressing. Work, you be like, man, I quit. When this work, you're like, yo, I quit.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I quit. Like, I ain't,
That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think when people say they
Man,
don't know, like when Billy was teaching a step kid, they don't know.
this is good, bro.
But
This
ask
is
for
good,
help.
man.
That
Yeah.
should have been asked for help to prevent working.
Wow.
Yeah. But I just I think we equate everything to feeling good. So, you can learn. Sometimes learning requires a little bit of pain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I right now, and I can't run 5 miles. Like you got to build up to that. You put me on the treadmill and put that joke on like number 7, I can't. I probably tap out. And it's like, yeah, do this for 5 miles, but you work up to that. You don't just hop on, and that's what people think. It's like, oh, I have a knowing, so I'm going to hop in, and it's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
chill.
Yeah.
But what you won't hear is, no, I ain't chilling because I'm investing in my fantasy. It's like, we need to define that word fantasy because it has hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to be careful because there's a fine line between a fantasy and a dream. There are
Mm-hmm.
two different portals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But ask for help, man. Ask for it. And unfortunately we don't, and we crash and burn. And some people do crash and burn, they dissolve, they divorce and stuff like that. And guess what happened? They never even asked for help.
Mm. Wow.
There's a movie out there called A Case for Christ. It's funny, Les, because the wife got born again and the husband was home with the kids and he was highly irate with his wife. And she was like, what is your issue? He was like, you're cheating on me with Jesus. You're cheating on me with that man. Yeah. Man, I gotta find that clip. He was like, I don't understand what he's doing for you. I don't understand why you love him and you care for him, and I'm here and you cheating on me with Jesus. Yo, yo, it just sounds so funny. You don't
Wow.
even hear, like, if a dude get cheated on, if his lady cheated on, you don't hear that. You hear anger, vengeance, domestic violence, and stuff like that. Or he try to return the favor. This dude was poor. That's the only time she ever saw vulnerability from her husband. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Wow.
wow. But he was
Well,
expressing it like,
that's what he needed then.
I think he ended up getting born again. I can't remember the movie that much, but he was one of them dudes that wanted to prove her wrong. I guess he did all this research. I don't know, but it was funny. He's like, you're cheating on me with Jesus.
That's
Hey,
funny.
look, the Lord can have my wife. He can flirt with her. He can spend time with her. They can take vacations
Yeah.
together. Lord, you can,
Yeah.
have your way with her.
Yeah.
Kid, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can have them. Take them over me.
Right.
Well, I don't need you. I'm like, well, I wouldn't say you don't need me. I got something that the Lord ain't got. I wouldn't say kick me to the curb. I mean, He can fulfill your every need, but I ain't beefing with the Lord. But you can
Yeah.
have him all. You can spend all the
Right.
time with you. I ain't beefing with him. You know what I mean? So you can cheat on me with Jesus. I. I'll be around. Just, you could call me, text me. I'll be upstairs or something. When you done with your man, I'm cool. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'll be here.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you done with your man now? All right. Can I be the male concubine? Can I? That's all.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, but
Hey man.
asking for help, bro. This ain't no people don't we don't think we need help, man. If I got any advice for my daughters, I could try to give them the game as they're teenagers, but you know, I got some time for Abraham. But
Yeah.
just if anything, I think the best gift you can give to a kid, the best gift I could give to Aubrey, Ava, and Abraham is to get a first class seat of a man loving a woman. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's only because then I will have voice. So when I talk to them about relationships, I don't have to whip out a book or something like, you know what I did, or you know what I was thinking, or you know how I pursued. You see you know what I mean? And just live from there because you've watched me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You even watch how I talk to you, Aubrey. You see how I watch how I talk to you, Ava. You see how I talk to Abraham because men, they got to hear it a certain way and stuff. Like, it's just, you just got to display it. And it would help if they see, you know, their dad being loved too. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's not work, It's just pursuing to be non-ignorant, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not work. I
Yeah.
I don't like the situation that I am right now, of certain actions and decisions I did, you know, not in the regards of like far as infidelity, anything. I didn't do any of that. It's just that you can still make small things that can just really affect the union. You know what I mean? And but when I get through this, it's only right for me to articulate it to everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when people are in this dark spot, I could just be like, well, this is what I was doing, and this is what I was doing, and this is what I was doing. An opportunity came. And when this opportunity came, the first thing I did was called her or brought her right beside me and like, look, this is what I did, but I'm gonna need you to help me get through this. That's the flow. That's
Yeah,
this.
bro.
See what I mean? That's
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
I
like,
can't wait
look.
till you share that testimony.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's gonna work. It's working now. It's
Yeah.
working now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's working now. And I'm gonna be like, yeah. And I just share the steps. But that stuff, man, it's gonna be some future stuff. Not, you know what I mean? That it's gonna cause us to do this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So all to do is work you for the next thing. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
understand football is 1st and 10, then it be 2nd and 4, then it could be 3rd and 8, then you get another first down, then you get back up. Occasionally you get a touchdown. You know what I mean? But sometimes you get intercepted, sometimes you fumble, then you get back. It's a constant. This is constant. But this
Hmm.
isn't work. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I think it's easier to say work, but I like what you said. You didn't work on you.
Yeah. 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 That's it, man. Because we can honestly even call that a flow though as well because the flow is here. The flow is here because when you do that, um, the things that you are challenged with and end up just becoming testimonies.
Well, I think that's the thing, man. The problem is it's like a negative connotation associated with testimony. Like we don't want to live through what we overcame. We just want to already be at the penthouse and stay there, and look down on people. Be like, yo, y'all come up to us. It's like,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you know,
well,
we
that's
want
why
people
doing
to look up.
life is important.
That's what I
That's why.
love. That's why I love Jesus, because he was in heaven and he came down, dwelt among us. then
Yeah.
ascended on high. He wasn't up and just was like, yo, y'all keep looking up here.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
man. If I ever get into that space of like public speaking, motivational stuff, I only really want to talk about. I only want to really talk about the out. I mean, I only want to talk about the process. What should you be doing when you're
Yeah.
having these thoughts and when you're feeling like this and stuff like that? You know what I mean? That's my version of giving you hope when you're in the trenches. This
Yeah.
is easy to talk to people. It's when you're on the mountaintop. It's like, no, I wanna come down. Like Jesus came down. You know what I mean? I want to come down. So if you in a bad spot in your marriage and you in a bad spot economically in your business, I want to get in the trench, and while you digging, I'm digging with you.
Yeah.
I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
They is a story I just heard about a they couldn't get a I forgot how it worked, but it was two donkeys in a well. It was two
Hmm.
donkeys in a well, and they wanted to fill the well. They wanted to remove the well, and one of the dudes, they pulled the dirt in, they were scooping dirt in, and the donkey got smashed and died. The other one, he was dipping and weaving, and he kept climbing on each dirt pile, climbing on each dirt pile. He was dipping and weaving, the dirt kept coming, he kept dancing and moving. Eventually, he got enough, and he jumped out, scared everybody. But he was like, I'm getting out of this tunnel.
Right.
The one
Right.
just sat there and let the dirt keep raining on him, raining on him. The other one was like, all right, when it was coming, he was building a pile. Then he hopped on the other side, it was coming, he was throwing the dirt. And then he just kept maneuvering. And then
Yeah.
eventually he hopped up out that tunnel. And
Mm.
I think it was just basically the story was like, donkeys don't hop much, and donkeys, they're not smart, you
Mm.
know. So but that donkey was like, man, look,
I'm getting up out of here.
I'm getting up out of here.
Yeah, your circumstances can press you to either stay there or to get up out of there,
And life can be hard at
depending on
times,
what you
man.
made of, depending on what you made of, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But this was good, man. This was
Yeah,
real
man.
good. I'm looking
Yeah, I
forward to
just
the finale.
the worst thing you can do in life is never ask for help, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, you cannot ask for help and still just make it. I mean, minimum wage exists, bro. I don't know how many people want it, millions. I don't know. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll get
Love you
there.
too. Love you too, honey. Give me a second. All right, bro. Let me get out of here
Yeah,
so I can see my little ones off.
yeah,
Love you, bro.
yeah. We went over. All right, bro. Love you, man.
All right. Everybody that watched this, appreciate y'all tapping in. Pray that y'all was blessed by uh this conversation.
The flow. Ask for help.
Yeah, the flow. Yeah.
All right,
All
bro.
right. Love you, man. Peace.